In these programmes, we've been hearing from people who've gone through all kinds of suffering, persecution, losing a child, long-term illness, and facing death. And we've asked why a good and powerful God would let people go through situations like this. Last time we heard the claim that one reason why God allows suffering is because it can produce some more important good that would be impossible without it. But what could be that important?
Well, where does most of this suffering come from? Most suffering in the world comes from us as people. Even when there's the so-called natural disasters, like famine and the like, you could argue that the way we've destroyed the environment may have caused that famine. But if people got together around the world, they could get the food to the right places if they wanted to. But people don't want to give them money, there's greed, there's war. And so an awful lot of the suffering in the world is caused by us, humanity, which actually fits with the picture of the Bible that tells us we're all fallen, we're all sinful, we're all self-centered.
God respects our free will as human beings. He has put within us the ability to choose to love him or to reject him. And that is a real desire in God's heart, to have a relationship with us as his people. He respects that free will. And so he allows suffering not so much as a test of that will, but rather as an opportunity for that will to be expressed and perhaps for its muscles to be developed. God respects human free will. In his sovereignty, he has chosen to set our free will into the process of us becoming Christians. And I think that, when things go wrong in life and when there is suffering in the world, we mustn't forget that a lot of it is because of what man does to man, man's inhumanity to man. So when we blame God for suffering, we must remember the amount of suffering that man is responsible for. And part of my story is actually that there was something done to me in a procedure trying to clear the gallstones away from my pancreatic duct, an ERCP, which went badly wrong. It only goes wrong in less than 1% of people, but it was the fault of the doctors doing it on that day, and it has caused me immense suffering. So there is still an element of my pain which was caused by man.
I believe that God is completely in control and completely good all the time. But there's a wee thing that I'm sure we've all heard of called free will. And he could cancel it, He could say, because it must grieve him. It must grieve him deeply, the pain and suffering we go through, as it grieved him when he experienced that on the cross through Jesus. But he didn't make puppets. He could cancel the whole thing and give us a happy life. Well, what we think is a happy life. But then we'd be puppets. He'd be pulling the strings. We'd have no freedom of choice. And the trouble with that is, if he took our free will away, we would be the first ones to complain about it. We wouldn't want to lose that free will. God is a God of relationship. He's in one himself with the Father, Son and Holy Spirit. And that's why he made human beings, I believe, from the Bible. That's what it tells us. And so his main objective is to build our relationship with us and to have us choose to be in relationship with him. So we've got to have free will, or that makes no sense. That's why he made human beings in the first place, and he loves us. So we can't be puppets. Of course, that means we're sinners. We're all are. We choose evil, we choose wrong, we make mistakes.
Yeah, I think it's important to recognise that this is a broken world. This is not the world that our Creator intended. That's what the Bible shows us. So the Christian point of view says that the world is faulty, that there are signs of an intruder in God's creation. Now, if I came home from being out somewhere and I found the drawers all strewn all over the place and the clothes thrown everywhere, I'd say this mess shows me there is an intruder. There are fingerprints of somebody else. And there is an evil force at work in the world, which means it is a broken world. It's a hostile world to God and to the whole kind of spiritual world in which God inhabits. So part of what's going on is this broken world situation.
And I believe from the Bible and from what I know in life, that he is not to blame for all the ills of the world. It's a broken world because of sin, and the devil's a wee bit to do with it, but probably he has less to do with it than we might think. But sin and evil are our own choice.
So according to the Bible, one of the biggest reasons for suffering is the choices we make. But this can't be the whole answer, can it? What about the suffering caused by volcanoes and floods and earthquakes that doesn't seem to have anything to do with our choices? We'll be looking at this next time.